Hello. Please don't lick Bode. Bode, you're on camera. Hello and welcome either to the video or to the premiere video. I haven't made up my mind. If it's going to turn into a long one, then it'll be a premiere video. But if I've said that, you know, all that I feel that I want to say, then it'll just be a video. But I've got a few things to tell you. I'll tell you what I did a couple of nights ago. My life. Right, I wear lip salve all the time. I know I've said this. Bodie, you're licking again. I know I've said this before in a couple of videos. Many years ago, I was 17, 18, something like that. I worked on a couple of building sites, and it was winter, and my lips got so dry that they bled. They were so bad, and I used to sit like in the tier, I suppose, try not to eat, try not to drink, and somebody would say something funny and I'd say oh, like that, because, you know, I'd move my lips in a different way and they hurt and they bled. And anyway, cut a long story short, but one of the guys said, why don't you get one of these? And he got a chapstick out. He said, it's lipstick for men. And his mate said, you bloody idiot, fancy wearing that? And I turned round to him and he was putting his on. So two of them had him. And Paddy next to me said, what are you like? And I looked round and he got one and he was putting his on. Turned out that everybody was wearing them, you know, wearing it. And I'd never really heard of it. I don't think I'd ever heard of it. So I bought one and things healed up and sorted themselves out. And since then I've always had a bit of a worry of, I mean, it's never ever happened again, obviously, because of the amount of gunk I pop on my lips, I tells you. But I feel, if I don't put it on, I feel that I'm going to have chapped lips. Of course I'm not. But yeah, if they're not slippery and slimy, no, if they haven't got a little bit of a coating on, then I do feel that I could possibly, you know, end up with dry lips again. I don't want that. It sounds petty and ridiculous, but if you've had lips that I had that were bleeding, God almighty, they were sore. Oh, there's a dog. Look. Oh my God. Oh, hello, Spode. That's all. That's all. Look at this little boy. I love you. I love you. Anyway, so quick story. I bought a pack of, what are we going to call it? Lip balm, or lip salve, or lip. Anyway, lip balm. I bought a pack of lip balm. I think there was three or four of these lip balms in a pack, and I bought them ages ago. And I cracked one open and I wore it, and that was great. Wore it till I used it all up. And a few nights back now, about a week ago, I slung it in the bin. And I got the next one, I put that in its place, which was in the bathroom. I'll tell you how obsessed I am, right? I got one near the computer, one near my bed, and one in the bathroom, and one in the car. I know, I do know. So I'd had my shower and I jumped out and sorted myself out, and he'd come in, because he comes in the bathroom and whines, you know, like, you've been a long time, let's go outside and play. I said, all right mate. I said, hang on. I got me lip balm and I whacked a load of that on, went like that, I went out and played, and my neighbour came out and she had a little chat, and that was nice. Anyway, so we carried on playing. Then I went in and made myself a Slurpee, and I popped some music on, and some Macy Gray. Actually, I've got 3 more albums that I didn't have. I thought I had them. 3 more albums by Macy Gray, so I'm going through them, and they're wonderful. So I made myself a Slurpee and popped some music on, and then I was sat at the PC and I had a couple of swigs of my Slurpee, and I thought, what the bloody hell's on this cup? Anyway, this redness, I wiped it off. I don't know where it came from, but anyway, so I had another swig and more red was there. I thought, if I cut my lips? Anyway, I felt my lip and it was red, ever so red. So I went into the bathroom. Yeah, you've guessed. They shouldn't do this. Why would they do that? I'd put Bright Cherry on, it was called. Bright red lipstick. Now, okay, I don't really mind too much, but bloody hell, give us a warning, will you please? This way, Bode. No, come on. Bobo, this way. Bode, no, this way. Come on now, man. This way. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm chatting to my neighbour. She never said a word. I bet she said in her head, look at this bloody clown. I don't mind. I wear nail varnish a lot. I haven't got any on today, but I wear nail varnish, so I don't care, do I? And I do dress a little bit like a clown. But, so having red lips probably wouldn't make any difference to anybody. Certainly not to me, but I felt like a twat, really. Yeah, it's all good fun. You okay? So, yeah, I went in and I had a look at them, and it was called Bright Cherry. I thought, I don't want to be wearing bright bloody cherry. I wear, come here, Bode. I wear nothing. I wear nude, blank, see-through, whatever we want to call it, transparent. That's what I wear. There's a dog over there. See him? Look at him. So I'd look at the pack. I think there was 4, and I think you get 2 transparents, 1 cherry, and 1, God, a maroon or something like that. Anyway, I threw the cherry away. I opened up the maroon, and I could see then, because I was looking, it was it's a nice colour. It's kind of a purple colour, but I don't want to walk around the streets in purple bloody lips. Not really. Not if I've got a choice. I can wear purple nail varnish. Funny, isn't it, eh? You can wear something but not the other. Don't know why that is, but anyway, it's all good fun. So that happened the other night, and I slung them away. I still got a couple of, I've got one in the bedroom, one in the car, so I'm not desperate, but I've ordered them off of eBay, I think they come from, or Temu. Anyway, it's dirt cheap. A pack of 7, but they're 7. Oh, clear. That's bloody transparent and nude. Clear, they're called. So that's good. It's all good. There's a pigeon coming. It's a chilly day. It's the green on its neck. So if you can walk the streets with a green neck, I'm sure I can walk the streets with red lips. Hiya, pigeon. Yeah, fucking off, are you? Okay. Okay. We're going to go over to the bigger area, because he wants to play ball. Look, he's not doing anything. So that's what we'll do, and I'll turn the camera off now, and I'll turn it back on when we're over there. And then we can have a chat about the main theme of this video. Bode, do you want to play ball? Did you want to play ball? Come on then. Bode. Look. Hey, it's your ball. Right, we're going to go to the grass area. I know you don't have a clue, but that's where we're going. Can I just tell you, you're a beautiful, beautiful boy, and I love you, okay? Just wanted to tell you that. So let's go. So yeah, we're going to go to the grass area. I'll have to pop them on a lead, I think, to get there. But yeah, so if you're going out, it reminded me, my lipstick, right? It reminded me when I was a kid, I went down, I think it was Southsea, I think. As you come out, in the tiles, it says, please check your dress. I thought, I'm not wearing a bloody dress. And I said to my mum about it, please check it. She said, that's to make sure your flies are done up and you're decent and what have you. Well, there's a lesson that I didn't learn. I should have looked in the mirror before I went out and played ball and made sure, have I got my trousers on? Have I got my little pants on? What's my face looking like? Am I wearing makeup? Do I look like a clown? Am I decent enough to stand out amongst other human beings and look fairly normal? Can I do that? That's what I should have been. That's what I should have been looking at. But clearly, I just, you know, didn't learn that lesson, and away I went. But hey, it's all good. Let's have a quick look at the squirrels. Okay, and then we'll. Oh, they're buggered off. As soon as you turn the camera around. Right, they're having quite a laugh today. Got one there. Oh, the other one's gone behind that tree now. Can you see him? You can see his tail. So, okay, Bode, let's go and play ball. Yeah, come on then. Hello. So the main theme of this video then is 10 years, isn't it? 10 long years. I've been on YouTube about 10 years. I say about because I joined YouTube at some stage, I'm not sure when, and then decided to make a couple of videos. Initially just for myself, and it was one of my nephews watched and said, oh, they're really good. Other people might enjoy them. I said, I wouldn't have thought so. Anyway, here we are. So, and that was sometime in 2014. So we're now 24, so obviously it's 10 years or thereabouts, probably a few months either way, but hello, are you ready? So happy anniversary to me, I suppose. I honestly never thought that I'd be on YouTube for 10 years. I'm not a YouTuber. Do you know what? I see a 17-year-old boy as a YouTuber, but not grown men. Ready, Bode? And really, the channels that I tend to watch, a lot of them are sort of my age, or at least they're adults, you know, so they're not YouTubers. I wouldn't class. I've got a lovely friend, Sandy, for instance, Wiltshire man. I wouldn't class him as a YouTuber. Yeah, he's a man who makes YouTube videos, we could say. I don't know, whatever. Ready, Bode? Hey! So, 10 long years. And we've done all sorts, haven't we? I was travelling for about four and a half years, something like that. So, if you've been with us a long time, number one, thank you very much, but number two, you may have seen us up in Scotland, in Dorset, Devon, across to Norfolk way, across the other way, Preston, Wales, the Isle of Skye, and over that way, my love. No, over that way. But it's over near the path. I know you don't understand, but sniff it out. Yeah, and then of course Oxfordshire, Berkshire, Warwickshire, and all the other shears, the Shropshire and the Cheshire, and wherever in the middle of the UK, really. So I never went abroad. That wasn't the wasn't really the point. The point was to travel, because I'd never travelled really. Well, I'd always travelled, but I'd never travelled like that, like free travel, just turn the key, see where I end up, you know. Bode, you have to go back, my love. It's over that way. Bode, over that way. No, look at me. He can't look even. Bodie, right, that's it, over there. Go, back. That's it. Yeah, my clever boy. And then, of course, during those times of travel, it sort of came to me that maybe I could sell my art as a form of income, really. And again, that was a friend at the time who said, she saw my art and said, these are really good, you know, you should think about selling them. I said, no, I do them for fun, really, you know. And she said, seriously? She said, have a go, pop them on eBay, I think they'd sell. And I said, I wouldn't have thought so, it's just for me, you know. You get into this mindset, it's just for me, it's just fun, it's just, they don't mean anything. And again, I made a video obviously about this at the time, but I put one painting on eBay, and I thought, I'll go and check it about 10 minutes later, and I was going to change something on it, and eBay wouldn't let me change it. And I phoned my friend and I said, I can't change it. eBay, for some reason, they won't let me change it. She said, that's because it's sold. Within 10 minutes, it was weird. So, and between writing, between my books and my art, and I did a little bit of work as well. Sometimes I work within the mental health kind of field, you know, and there was a consultancy going that was very, very loose, very part-time, as they were setting up something somewhere, and I thought, well, I could do with that, really. It's very good money, and I thought I could do with that. So I got two friends of mine, and they stayed on a particular site that was very good to me, actually. This site was over the years, but they only charged for one. So, and they were just lovely, really, really good. They knew that I was busy. Anyway, what my friends did, they looked after Bodie for me, because I was away, not very often it turned out, but when I was away, sometimes I was away 6 hours, and I could never leave him 6 hours. I hate leaving him for an hour, really. I know how worried and upset he gets, but yeah, that was then. So I made my own income. I employed myself in lots of ways, really, you know, as I say, with writing, selling books, art. So I was selling my art, doing a little bit of consultancy work, working in the mental health field, and whatever else came my way, really, during that time. I was also, over the last 10 years, I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis, and it did become very, very obvious that I could no longer travel, because it used to hurt to drive, if I'm honest. Changing the gas bottle was near on impossible, kneeling down and then trying to stand up after that. Oh, I do remember doing that, and I don't miss it. I miss travelling to a degree. Sometimes you've got to think, you know, what is best for me. It's not what's best for other people, it's not what's best for the channel, it's what's best for me. And at the outset, I called the channel The Ramblings of Bri, because I wanted it to be just a rambling channel about whatever I fancied rambling about. And it's a twofold, it's a twofold meaning, because rambling can be like bimbling. Nobody's ever heard of bimbling. So it could be walking, dondering, whatever, wandering about. And I do a lot of that. And I did a lot of that, particularly when I was travelling. So it could be that. But also ramble is just to empty your head, just to chat, you know. So it kind of fitted what I wanted. and sometimes you can kind of curtail the video. Not the video, sorry, you can curtail the channel. You can put a bit of a block on it by calling it Bry's Van Life, Brian Bodie Bimbling Only Videos, or something like that. You know, you do it's called a Bimble channel, and then next thing they see me driving somewhere and people just switch off and they say, well, I didn't watch it for driving, I'm not interested in travelling, I'm not interested in poetry, not interested in your thoughts or meditation or dealing with mental health or whatever. So I was very happy that I called it the Ramblings of Bry. It was always going to be that anyway, but it just worked, and it meant that if there was such a time that I wanted to do anything, I could. And if it was stood under a waterfall, if it was making a cheese sandwich, it was still rambling, you know. Hello. Christ, it's cold. Oh, yeah, it's chilly. Anyway, so yeah, I called it Ramblings for those reasons that I've just said there, really. So during that time, the Ramblings took me on a bit of a tangent. I decided to speak about mental health issues, and I remember the first one, I was sat on the step, I was in a place called Harwell in Oxfordshire. I was smoking then, I had a fag and a Slurpee, and the sun was shining, and I wasn't happy. I hadn't been happy for a number of days. So I thought I'd make a video and discuss dysthymia, because it's fairly rare. And that led me on to discussing anxiety and depression and a couple of other things. And then I got such a response of people asking me questions and saying, I've got this, or I feel like this, or you just described me, could you talk more, or whatever, that I made another video not long after, I think talking about anxiety, how I see anxiety. Then I made another one, and I said, you know, I do get anxious from time to time, sometimes very, very anxious, and sometimes hardly anything, but here's how it affects me on a personal level, to me. And a huge response again. And you know, I spoke about all sorts of things, insomnia, and again, huge response. And then I made just kind of what I call empty in my head videos, just talking about things like I don't know, grief. You know, I spoke about that. Spoke about the way it affects me, or how I see it, and the reasons why not to follow that silly little numbers and say, oh, there's 6 stages I must go through. There's not, you know. So the Ramblings didn't take on a different vibe, but it just opened things, really, because it was always going to be about chatting and my experiences and stuff like that. But I didn't want to come across patronising, condescending. I didn't want to come across as all-knowing, as some guru, as some oracle, some guy that everybody turns to advice, and my advice better be 100% correct. I didn't want to come across as that at all. Hello. But I feel that I've you know, lived a few years. I'm 26 now, so I've got 26 years worth of experience, and you know, I've done a few things as well. So why not, if I can help somebody by talking about my experiences, whether they be involved in work or not, or my personal life, or somebody I knew, or whatever, you know. And obviously I've lived a life, I've had losses in my life, so I've had grief for a long time. I lost somebody to suicide, in fact 2 friends to suicide, so that's awful to deal with, but I don't feel anything's taboo, you see, And I feel that we need to speak about things. If we don't speak about things, how the hell are we going to understand? Are we going to learn? Are we going to be able to be there for somebody else if they go through that? We have to talk, don't we? And especially men have to talk. Because most men, how are you, mate? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, but how are you really? How are you? Yeah, I'm alright. No, how are you? Because you've been so quiet lately. You've been, I don't know, you've been difficult to get hold of. When I've got hold of you, you've hardly spoken. How are you really? Oh, well, really? You know, that's how we need to speak when we're men, because we're big and brave, and, you know, we don't speak about feelings, do we? So I've always felt that that's important on my channel. You know, nothing is taboo, and to be open and honest as much as I possibly can be. And I have been, to a degree, but there's certain things I've always kept back, always, because it's my life, my channel. I live in Dorset, but nobody knows exactly where I live in Dorset, and why would they? Sometimes some people have asked me certain questions, and I've refused to answer it, really. I thought, no, why would I, you know? Initially, it was things like, are you married? Well, no, I'm not married. Of course, I've been in relationships and what have you, but no, I'm not married. Have you got children? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you? And it felt too, I suppose, just personal, really. Just felt too. I'm not here to divulge every last detail of my life. I'm just some guy who makes YouTube videos, and if I want to answer some, I will. If I don't, I don't. You know, much the same as you would if you were sat down the pub and somebody asked you a question and you thought, no, I don't want to answer that, then you wouldn't, you know. But on the whole, I've always tried to be fairly open, fairly honest, and that's all I can be, is fairly open and fairly honest. And I always have been, always will be. Hello, are you getting tired? Are you ready? So of course, in that 10 years, my mum died, which was, it wasn't a massive shock. It was difficult to deal with in lots of ways, but kind of in my head it was expected for quite some time. And the most surprising and shocking thing about that, I suppose, is that I wrote a poem, and the poem is called I'm Okay. It's in my first poetry book. A bimble through my poems if you want to have a look at it. I'm okay. There's also a video, so you don't have to buy the book or anything. I'm okay, and it's on here on YouTube. But I wrote this poem, and it's quite a lengthy poem, and I'm very adamant with my words, really. What I want to say, I say, and they mean a lot. And my elder brother said to me, he was the executor of the will, the eldest brother, and he said, can I have a look at your poem? He said, we want timings and everything, so I just wondered how long it would take to read. And I said, well, I don't know, do I? You know, if I broke down in tears, it might take an extra 2 minutes, you know. I might be nervous, I might rattle through it, and it might take a minute less, who knows? And he said, yeah, just on average. Anyway, so I said, okay, I'll send you the poem on email. So I sent it. And he replied, and he said, it's really good. However, fuck off. He said, however, he said, you could take a complete verse out, and could I suggest, I said, no, you can't. I can't take a verse out, and I can't chop and change things around, because then it wouldn't be my poem, it'd be yours. And if you want to stand down, read it, and pretend that you wrote most of it or whatever, then do that. If not, it remains as it is, and I will stand there and read it. Anyway, he said okay. So we had a meeting with the, I don't know what they call them, you know, the woman who does the ceremony, like a vicar, but my mum wasn't religious at all, nor any of us are, you know. So we had a non-religious thing, ceremony or whatever you want to call it. And look at this boy, he's tired now, that's good. He is 10, he gets tired. Little angel. There he is. So, she said, and who's speaking, you know, and my brother Alan said, I'm going to be the first up, I'm going to say a few little words. It's like 4 minutes really. And then after that, she goes back to her, and then she read something else out or whatever, and then it comes over to me. And I said to her, look, I don't know if I'm going to be in a fit state to read this poem or not. And I won't know until the very second. Not in the morning, I won't know until the very second that I'm about to read it. She said, no problem. She said, that's great. She said, here's what I'm saying. And when I get to the word dogs, because my mum loved dogs and she had 2 dogs when she died, but she had dogs all her life. And she was reading, and she gave me what she was saying. And she was saying that my mum loved loads of stuff in life, but particularly babies and dogs. That was her real love. And then she went on to read another couple of lines. And then she said, or was going to say, and now is a poem written and read by Daphne's son, Brian. So that's what she was going to say. But when she got to the word dogs, she said she'll look up, and if I nod, that means I can read it. If I do that, that means I can't read it. So she would either say written and read by Bri, or she would say written by Bri, which I will now read. So anyway, it shocked me, but I was ready to read it, and she got to the word dogs and I just nodded. I thought, shit or bust really. If I don't nod, then I'll never read it. And I think a poem needs to be read in that scenario, that situation. It needs to be read by the person if possible. It's not always possible, and in fact obviously at a funeral it's probably not often more than it is often, if you know what I mean. But if you read it or whatever, in my first book, you know, you read it, you may, because you might know me, you might hear my voice kind of thing, you know, as I'm reading it. If not, then you read it at your speed, in your voice, in your head, and that's perfectly all right. When you're reading something is a different thing to listening and hearing. And in a situation like that, to have this woman who's a stranger to everybody, but reading my poem, it would have been more washed out, if that makes any sense. Anyway, whatever, it probably doesn't, but that's how I felt. So I lost my mum in this 10 years that I've been making videos. A lot's happened really. Sadly, health-wise, it's been a real, you know, I was okay. I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis, but I was still okay and bimbling around and everything else, you know. And then everything, as you know, everything hit me all in one. I had a lung infection, I had COVID, I had pneumonia, I had cancer and heart disease. And it went on and on and on and on. And, you know, but the good thing is I got rid of most of all that. I survived, I've come through it all, so that's good. Obviously I still got arthritis, but I have lots of massages and I try and look after myself as much as I can. I need to lose weight, and I will do it at some stage, hopefully. And you know, the heart disease is not, well, I don't know exactly what's going on with the heart disease at the moment, you know, but I am seeing specialists and stuff like that, so I'm onto it regular. And if I haven't heard from them in a number of months, I contact them, and why not? You know, it's my body, and because I have panic disorder as well, I need to make sure that they're onto it. Otherwise, I end up panicking about it and worrying about it, and perhaps there's no need to. Perhaps they are dealing with something in the background, and I'm unaware of that. Who knows? So yeah, all that happened. Wow, but lots have happened really. I got a tattoo on my head, didn't I? In the 10 years, somewhere. That was when I stayed with my lovely friends, Gary and Vicky, which is Escaping the Matrix for Good. Gary doesn't make a lot of videos now. The children are much older, they're young adults, and one's at work and one's about to leave school soon, so they're not really interested in making videos. And the channel was really for Gary. I think it was a real connection with the family, and if the kids are no longer really interested, then I think in Gary's mind he thought, well, can I be bothered really, you know? But he's a very, very busy man as well, as you can imagine, running a small holding, taking care of a family. You know, he's a married man, so there's everything else, you know, there's whatever, you know, whatever married people do, from cooking a meal to going out to holidaying to, you know, and they've been very busy. They've been fostering children for many, many years. I think either that's come to an end or very close to coming to an end. This way, boat. Oh. Good boy. So that's been wonderful that I managed to spend some time with them. Now, although I've got friends, and I had friends prior to starting this channel, this 10-year channel, I never knew what it would bring to me, and it's brought some of the nicest, closest friendships I've ever had in my life. And there's a number of people. I shouldn't really mention anybody because I go and forget somebody, and then somebody will sit there crying. But yeah, there are a number of people, and amongst many is my beautiful Lisa, my beautiful Marion, beautiful Martin, beautiful John, and many other beautiful souls. And as I just said, you know, certain channels that I've been following for many years, like Sandy from the Wiltshire Man, and Gary and Vicky and their kids as well, you know, from Escaping the Matrix for Good, and so many other people really. Lots of I met up with lots of people who make videos, lots of creators, lots of channel owners, so that's been really, really good. And some of them have become good close friends, you know. And you wouldn't get to meet these people perhaps had I not made videos. You know, just take John for instance, if you don't mind John, if you do, hard luck, but his beautiful daughter contacted me and said, if you're ever in the area, pop in. You know, it was just like that, pop in, if you're ever in the area, pop in, my dad would love to meet you. And he commented on several of my videos. I always had a bit of a chuckle. He's got a good sense of humour, and I just knew this guy's a nice guy, you know. There are some people on this planet that are just decent, lovely people, and that is John. I love him, I really do. He's a lovely, lovely man. So not in that way, I ain't seen his tallywangle, but then I don't have a magnifying glass big enough. So I was in the area, and I rang this number, spoke to this stranger, this young lady, and I said, I'm here. She said, great, come round the back. And before too long I was stood in the kitchen chatting, and I'd met somebody who was a friend within seconds, you know, that I could turn to as well. Over the years, you know, John's had his issues with certain things, and I've always been there, or tried to be there, and which I always will do, always. He's a friend, he's a good friend, and John's been there for me, you know. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I didn't open up fully to too many people, but I actually remember crying on the phone to John. And you know, that's when can you do that? No shame in it, no, I mean, I didn't know if I was going to live or die. I really didn't. You know, your head's all over the place and you're feeling ill. You know, you are dying because you've got cancer. Until they cure it or take it out or whatever, then you are seriously ill. And you know, but I was on the phone once to him and I just broke down, and no shame, because that guy is an amazing friend. And I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't, well, number one for his lovely daughter, but I wouldn't have met him if I wasn't travelling and making videos. So it's funny how things work. Anyway, I'll turn you off for a sec. Hello? This way, go. So, I might as well make this a premiere, being as we've been banging on. So, welcome to the premiere. Oh God. Oh God. That's a low bench. Look at my bloody knees are in my neck. It's cold. I'm going to go back to the car, go home and get myself a Slurpee. So yeah, I will make I'll make some more of this, so it will become a premiere. But what I'm thinking about, friends and what have you, big hand on heart, thank you so much to anybody who ever came to see me. You never know what it's going to do you, in your life, really, you know, when you meet people and stuff. I had this stranger contact me, and this stranger was going through a particular thing, and I said, could you make a video about kind of what this stranger was going through? And I said, well, in my opinion, yes, this is how I feel, you know. Ended up making 2 videos on it, and that became my friend Lisa. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I could not imagine my life without Lisa, without these people, you know. It's very, very strange. Bodie, don't lick. Oh, there's so many stories I could tell you. Just one last one, really, because I could sit here all day, and as I say, I'm cold. But so I was in where I live. I was in Dorset, and this was years ago, many years ago now. I was just a child, just very, very, literally just a small child, travelling in Ishi. So 10 years, eh? I mean, I was 16 when I started making these videos. And I was in Ishi, and my drawer had fallen over. I'd forgotten to secure it, and it had fallen over, and a lot of my art stuff had jumped out. And I thought, oh God, I've got to pick this up. I have to, so I've got to stop. And I stopped in this tiny little lay-by, and I was on my knees, and within a few minutes, somebody tapped at the door. And there's this beautiful woman with beautiful watery blue eyes, bless her. And she said, do you mind moving this heap of shit? Sorry, no, she didn't. She said, hello. She said, I watch your videos, bro. And I said, oh, thank you very much. And she wasn't the first, but she was one of the first to say that to me, because it was very early on. Anyway, that was my lovely friend Marion. How funny that, you know, we're friends all these years later, you know. And oh, there's been several like that I've met in different places across the UK and what have you. And like I say, hand on heart, I feel so blessed and so grateful, even that these people reached out to me to ask me a question in some cases, to ask me to make a video in other cases, and just in some cases just stopped me in the street and said hello. You know, it's weird how things come together, really. I think as you get older, you don't make friends. Certainly you don't make friends like when you're a child, of course you don't. And it's not a lonely life, but it can be a life with just 1 or 2 or 3 friends, which actually I'm quite happy with, to be honest. But the more friends the merrier, especially if they're decent friends, you know, and you work out eventually over time who is decent. And of course in 10 years that meant, you know, sometimes friends don't last, sometimes they couldn't stand me, sometimes perhaps I couldn't stand them, I don't know, I'm spitting. But you know, some friendships are there for now, we'll say, you know, and they've finished their friendship either with you, or you finished your friendship with them, or you know, you just come to, I mean, a lot of the friendships that I made have just dwindled out, really, just petered out just slowly. And talking about Peter, I mean, Pete, who came to look after me when I had cancer, bless him, he was another guy, you know, another traveller, and wanted to come and see me. I said, yeah, come on over and we'll have a chat, you know. So that was lovely. And there's been so many, so thank you all, thank you everybody, I really, really appreciate it. So talk amongst yourselves, say hello to people if you like. That's one thing that I've always wanted, is like a little community, a little tribe, a little connection of our tribe, our like-minded souls, the good people, the decent people, the kind people, the nice people. I like to think of myself as being all them and more. Bloody aeroplane. And in turn, I think of everybody on here as being lovely, friendly, kind, decent, honest. We've got a good little group of people, good little band, a good, what I call, tribe. So, hello, tribe. Hello. Okay, we'll be back, well, second on here, because this is now the premiere. So, yeah, hello to everybody. To those I met, those I haven't met, those I've connected with, those I haven't connected with. And I do know sometimes people say to me, I've been following you for years, this is my first ever comment. And I think, wow, you know. But anyway, whatever, it's all good. So I'm going to go back to the car. I am cold. That looks deceptive, doesn't it? But we are now getting very cold. Actually, he wants another play. I think I'll play for a little bit more, then back to the car, and then back home. So, catch you later. Cheers.
Show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, again. I got myself a new t-shirt. I have to empty my head, otherwise I'll go and forget. So yeah, it's just black and white, which is different for me, but I loves it. So yeah, got myself a new t-shirt. I must tell you about a website. Most of you will be aware, I'm sure. It's called Temu, or Temu, T-E-M-U. I call it Temu, call it whatever you like, T-E-M-U. They're Chinese. If you've got a problem with that, don't order. They're fantastic. They're really, really good. Loads I can tell you about them, but just have a look yourself, really. T-E-M-U, Temu, whatever. I say Temu. Very odd prices. This sort of t-shirt, I can't remember what it was. It'd be like $5.41 or $6.23. You know, whatever. It's really weird prices. See this chain I got on? Solid silver coloured. It's stainless steel, and that was £4.27. I know the price of that. And see these little bangles that I wear? They're £1.26 each. £1.26. You see? Anyway, just out the shower, a bit hot. Deceptive day, because it's really, Mr. Solar Face is bing like that, and it's bloody freezing cold. So I'm out the shower, just made a Slurpee. Cheers. Yeah, give it a whirl if you fancy getting yourself a bargain. They do just about anything. I know I've mentioned a couple of clothing or jewellery or whatever. I was going to get, or at least I was thinking about getting an air, I don't know what this, an air bottle? No. Is it? I don't know what it's called. It's a bottle that you fill up with water, and you get these little discs, and you put it around the top, squash it down, click like that, and as you go to take a drink, you smell, and you can taste like whatever the ding, whatever that is, the little disc. Say it's strawberries. You can taste strawberry. It fools the brain, or you know, it's whatever. Custard and cream, or chocolate, or coffee, or something like that. Anyway, I was thinking, I don't drink enough water. I was thinking about perhaps getting one of these air bottles. I'm sure they're not called that. Air flask? I don't know what they're called. So I went on air, whatever it is. Very expensive. They're between, well, 40 and 60 quid. Right? That's a lot of money, isn't it? I thought, I wonder if Temu has them. Sure enough, they do, £7. So this is what I mean. It's not, you're not saving a penny or two. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. All sorts of different things they do. I wanted some cotton buds, and I got, there's a pack of 1,000, so you buy 1,000 cotton buds, and again it's like silly money, £2 something, and a cotton bud dispenser for another £2. Oh god, what else? I'll tell you what I've bought. Now, I wanted an Adiyogi. Adiyogi is Lord Shiva, really. Okay, if anybody knows anything about Sadhguru, then you will have seen this. What it is, Adiyogi is the biggest statue, biggest man-made statue in the world. So Adiyogi, A-D-I-Y-O-G-I, if you're interested in having a look. But really, it's Lord Shiva, okay, who I love. There's Shiva, can you see? Anyway, so it says Adiyogi written on the bottom there. Can you see it now? Maybe. Don't know what you can see. These little statues cost a fortune. It's crazy. I really wanted this 12-inch statue, but it's £1,500. I'm not paying that. So you got these little 4-inch ones, and these are about £700. But, and I know they're Chinese rip-offs and what have you, but it's weighty, it's very well made, good quality, it feels nice. It's even got some pads on, and these are, I can't remember what they are, they're less than £5 each. Crazy. So anyway, enough banging on, Bri. Temu or Temu, if you want to give it a whirl. So if you wanted anything, if you wanted shoes, bedding, bleach, I don't know what you want, a tent, television, a pencil, it doesn't matter what you want, it seems to be on there. Where I got my balls from, you know, my gazing balls outside there, you know, the silver beautiful mirrored balls, I probably bought about half of them, something like that, off of Temu or Temu. And the reason why I bought them is because I couldn't find them any cheaper anywhere else. The two medium sized ones, you get 3 balls. You get, I can't remember what it is. Oh yes I can. It's 10 centimetres. No it's not, it's 10 inches, 20 inches and 30 inches. That's the set. Now anywhere else would cost you 30, would be about 60 quid, so 60, 70, 80, 90, about 100 quid, something like that. That's for the set of the 3, the 10, the 20 and the 30, £100. On Temu, I think I got them for about 32 quid. That's how cheap it is, you know, go and have a look. That's enough banging on. So yeah, 10 years of making videos thereabouts. What's happened in these 10 years? Well, do you know what? All sorts have happened really. From, you know, letting go of work, letting go of my house, travelling, you know, buying a motorhome and travelling. Some amazing times really. Scotland was lovely. Cumbria is my favourite, or was my favourite. Definitely Cumbria. Loved Wales, and I went to loads of other places as well, but I think Cumbria, for me, it just felt home. It felt right. It felt I belonged. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. To see all the hills, all the water everywhere, you know, the lakes, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. If you get a chance, go to Cumbria, anywhere in Cumbria. I would say it's a must. It really is. So I did that. Health took a turn for the worst, so I ended up in bricks. I've moved about 3 or 4 times since I've been in bricks in the last couple of years, but so I'm still travelling. I'm just travelling on bricks really. I feel quite calm, quite content, quite happy, although I am naughty because I do go on Rightmove and I do see what else is out there. I don't have an allegiance, you know, to anywhere. I don't belong anywhere, which means I belong everywhere. That's what I think. So I wouldn't say my home is necessarily Cumbria, although I love Cumbria. I was born in Berkshire. I wouldn't necessarily say that's my home. I've lived in Oxfordshire. I wouldn't say that's my home. Dorset, I don't know really, because, you know, that's where I am. That's where I've lived for a while. I also lived in Dorset for 13 years, going back a few years. So I don't know. No, it's not. I don't know where's home. I don't belong. In a way, I know it sounds strange, but I just don't belong, which is great. It's given me the freedom, and I know I'm naughty, but I do go on Rightmove and I do have a look just to see what's out there. Will I stay here? Will I move? I have no idea. I'd like to think I'm settled enough to stay. That's what I'd like to think, but I also know me. So that's not a cryptic clue, by the way. I'm quite happy where I am. I've got no kind of aspirations to move on. It doesn't matter. But who knows? During the 10 years, especially making videos, of course the trolls pop their heads up from their sort of shit pits. They do this, don't they? Sometimes. And I've always felt sorry for trolls. I always felt, yeah, I suppose that's the word, quite sad that that's how they live. They live kind of vicariously through you as a whatever content creator, as a video maker, as a YouTuber if you're young, and they live vicariously. So it's sad that they have to live like that, and then they hate what you're doing because the attention's on you, not on them. And you're living your life and you're saying, look, I've done this, I've been there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're not doing anything, so they get upset with you, you know. And like I say, I feel sad and sorry for them, but we all find our path in life, don't we, all of us, and you've got to make things work for you in whatever way you possibly can. But to sit at home and find something to be offended about and then start trolling those people, and you know, that's a real shame that that's what they feel they need to do, because they could put their efforts and energy into something else and they could do exactly what I did or exactly what anybody else has done. You know, I'm no better and I'm no worse than anybody else, and nor are you, and nor's the trolls. Nobody is any better or any worse than anybody else. You can get off your arse and do something. You don't need to sit at home and gripe and moan, and you know, you don't need to do that. Perhaps you do. So anyway, they popped up and they sort of mostly disappeared now, so that's great. What else? Well, obviously wrote my first book in that 10 years, didn't I? And now we're up to well, I've got 3 books on eBay, and I'm currently writing my 4th, another poetry book, which I'm loving. I'm actually enjoying, if I'm honest, I'm enjoying writing this book more than any other book. I really enjoyed the first book. I tried to make this second book much more professional. You know, I did look at the first book and I thought it was a bit, you know, not very good. It's written in a sort of pamphlet type style, really, just bang bang bang, and I wanted the other one, the second book, to sort of flow a little bit more and to be, yeah, just to be a bit more professional, you know. So I bought the copyright for it, got the numbers on all the pages, whereas I didn't with the first one. So it just, it's a different vibe. It's the same kind of content but a different vibe, and that's how I wanted it to be. But I didn't really enjoy writing that as such, but I enjoyed writing the first one. That was great. My last poetry book, the first poetry book it is, so the 3rd book that I've written, or the first poetry book, that was a combination of poems from many years ago right up until the present day. So it was good and I really enjoyed it, and I think it stands on its own. I think it really has got an energy about it. That's what I feel. It's a really good book. I feel that this book now that I'm currently working on, I think this tops, for me, I think it tops the other 3 books. And although this is a poetry book, you can't really compare it to the first 2 books I wrote. You can only compare like to like. So this poetry book I think is far better than the last poetry book. But then it's all relative, isn't it? You may say, oh no, you know, you might buy this book and you've bought the other book and you'll say, oh no, I prefer the first one, or whatever. But I think on the whole, I think you'll like some poems definitely from the first book, some poems definitely from the second book, and perhaps because they complement each other, I don't think you'll be able to tell too much. I don't think you'll be able to have a favourite. That's what I'm trying to say. Whereas for an author, for my purposes, because I go through a lot of different stuff than you would, you will sit and read. I obviously read, but I work it all out. I do a lot of stuff, you know. So for my purposes, I think this poetry book has been the most pleasurable Okay, the most pleasurable out of the 4 books that I have written, nearly. This is on the way, this one, and I'm hoping, I don't know when it's going to be done. I have no idea really, and a lot of it is inspiration and time and effort and all the rest of it, but 6 months, I said 6 months to a year. If we look at 6 months, and I started in January, so January, no I didn't, I started at Christmas, but whatever, January, February, March, April, May and June, so in about June, July, possibly August time, or a bit later, whenever. So let's try and say I would like it done and dusted for my birthday. And we know when my birthday is. It's the 29th of August, and I should be 26. Okay, so I should be 26 on the 29th of August. So I will aim for there. Now if I'm a month earlier, that'd be fantastic, but I'm probably going to be a month or 2 or 3 later, because things just take a long time, you know, but it's all good. So as I'm chatting to you now, I've got another Thai massage tomorrow, and I'm really enjoying that. They do hurt, I know we've said that in another video, they do hurt, but it's all good fun. And that seems to be really helping, or helping to a degree. I don't think anything much is going to help me, but I have osteoarthritis, so I need to be manipulated. I need to be stretched, just worked on really. So currently I've got my Thai massage and I've got my other normal sports massage, and they seem to be, you know, helping a bit, which is great. Really, that's about it. We're not doing much. It's so bloody cold that I can't be bothered. But I've got a nice new t-shirt. Look at that. Anyway, get yourself on Temu. Just before I finish on this little bit, how are ya? How is everybody? I do hope everybody's okay. I know there's a lot of well, some COVID still about, but I mean, people have got bad stomachs as well. There's a lot of flu bugs and things. This is just the time of year. So if you get anything, plenty of water, plenty of sleep, eat what you can when you can, close yourself down. Your illness, or anybody's illness, is just to do that, is to say enough is enough. Close yourself down, chill out. But I do hope everybody's well. On the whole, we're well. I'm still so tired, it's unbelievable. I had a shower and I'm awake now. I've had a little snack, I've had a few Slurpees, so I'm awake now, which is great. But I got up this morning, within 10 minutes I was so tired, and within about half an hour I went back to bed. Then got out of bed, and within 10 minutes again so tired, and I thought, oh no, let's get cracking. So I've done a few little things, you know. I just had some toast and I just dived in the shower really and sorted myself out. But Boda's out. Oh, I did play BALL before me shower. He's out there waiting in the kitchen because he thinks we're going out, and we are. But I just wanted to make this quick little bit of a video. It's a funny time of year. It's so dark, isn't it? You know, it's too dark really indoors to make a video until about 10 o'clock in the morning, because it's just gloomy. And then once we get to after 2, you know, at 3 o'clock it's starting to get dark, so you go back into the gloom. So between 10 and 2, so you've got yourself about 4, maybe 5 hours at a push, depends on what sort of day it is. If it's a wet day, then you've got this grey murky sky, and it's just a waste of time all day long. But anyway, so we've made a few little bits and bobs of this video, and I will make a bit more before we come to an end. This is just a premiere really to say 10 bloody years. just a premiere to say hello and Happy New Year if I haven't said it to you. I know it's a bit late now, but I mean, whatever. I did say it at the time, but if you didn't see that, then Happy New Year. Let's hope whatever comes your way this year, it's going to be a good year. I know we've started off not great. We got old Roland Rat, what's the name? Rishi Sunak, the unelected Prime Minister, decided to have a bit of a war and drop a few bombs. I think we should stay out of things. He's just been to Ukraine again as well and promised them God knows how many millions. There's so much money that goes missing in wars. One of the sums of money that he's promised Ukraine is £18 million for admin. Yeah. So that £18 million will probably buy Zelensky his 15th house, I expect. I'm just dead against it. I don't see why we should keep on helping out around the world. We struggle in this country. Our heating in this country is probably more than any other country. Our electric bills, it costs a fortune to heat. I'm kind of fortunate in a way because yes, I can afford it, and I promised myself when I was travelling I will never go cold again, and I won't. And that's why mostly I'm in a t-shirt. I have the heating on nearly all the time, but it costs a bloody fortune. It's ridiculous. Anyway, shut up, Bri. So I'm going to take my Slurpee outside and I'll go and see my little Bodie, because my Bodie wants to play ball again. He wants to play ball. Bodie wants to play ball. No, he's not moving. Okay. Yeah. Be back in a bit on here. Cheers. Be well. I don't know if you can see the river through there, but we've been here a number of times. Whew. I feel a bit better now. Now we're going downhill. Christ. So I think I'm going to draw this premiere to a close now. So thank you very much for joining me, everybody. It's been good, but it's been a long time since we've done a premiere. I hope everybody's well and continue to be well. Hiya, Bode. I'm looking for my way down, Bode, but I haven't got 4 legs. So he'll run down there, but I'm not, am I? I have to go up and down, I think. So I don't know when I'll do another premiere. As you know, it takes a long time really, and I have to think about things and record a number of things and then slot them all together, and it's just kind of time consuming really, although it's lovely. It's nice to get together and nice to be just part of the tribe really, you know. Sometimes, I said before in these premieres and stuff, is that sometimes you can be quite alone or feel quite alone, and then just spend an hour or so in each other's company and it's a bit of a laugh and you do feel connected, which we are. We're all connected, of course we are. Okay, I'm getting bloody cold. I'm going to finish this soon and go home and get myself a nice Slurpee and have a little kip. Please don't lick, my lovely. Oh Christ. See what I mean? Miles away from the edge. Bloody hopeless. Okay, so you can see whatever you can see. Probably a dog licking. Okay, thank you all. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to continue working on what will be my new poetry book. Over the next sort of few months probably, really, if I'm honest. But it's taking shape. Currently, I'll just tell you before we go, currently I've used 5 poems that are ancient. 5 old poems that I wrote when I was, I don't know, between 15 and 25 maybe. So 5 of them. And then there's about, oh bloody woman now with her dog. I don't know how many poems there are more modern, but I can tell you that I've written 16, 17, possibly 18 new poems so far, and I still hope for some more. Come here, Bode. Come here. Right, love you and leave you. Take care. Thank you again, and be well. Ta-la.